Second half about to get underway here as it will start with Mount Hood having possession of the basketball. Final 20 minutes here on this Friday night of makeup games as it'll be Hampton to get the inbound pass. Gets it over to Vaughn now as now that one's lost, but Wilson able to make the save. And Wilson now moves over to that right side, gets it over to Hampton. Hampton now gets it back to Vaughn. Vaughn moves to the inside, got it poked away, puts it in!
That was a beautiful finish.
Cam Vaughn just contested, and the second half starts strong for the Saints. Here's
And
a
a
three.
tip.
No good. Possession to Umpqua.
I don't know if you saw that before. I believe tipped it.
That would be Hampton who tipped it. 27 seconds into the second half, and the Saints up by 4 once again. Here's Sorensen. Sorensen inside. Reverse up, no good. Rebound is Harrop as he brings it up for the Riverhawks. Over to Valdez. Valdez wide open for three is good. 1 point game, 36-35. Here's Wilson. Wilson fake. He's going to step back and he's going to miss as it hits off the iron, no good. And here come the Riverhawks. Peachy gets it back over to Valdez. Valdez moves to the inside the lane. Gets it back out, Peachy. Peachy now moves inside. He puts up the two, and he puts it in, and Umpqua has taken their first lead of the second half. Just their second lead of the game, 37-36. Here come the Saints. Hampton's got it. Gets it out across now to Fowler. Back over now. Here is Vaughn. Vaughn, he's going to take a three. Off the iron, no. Tip, Sorensen's got it. Sorensen to Wilson, and he puts it in.
Back on top. 1 point lead.
Good finish there from Wilson, 38-37, 18-25 to go in the game. Potentially, the men have not played an overtime game this season. We could see one here as it's been close. Here's Harrop, and he puts it in. Third lead change here in the second half as Umpqua retakes a 39-38 lead. About 2 minutes played. Gets it back now to Wilson. Wilson looking, now moves inside. He's going to take it himself, and he is fouled. And the foul there is going to go against Moyer.
Coach showing some emotion for that, trying to fight for that foul.
So Wilson back at the free throw line. He was 1 for 2 in his last trip. This to tie, and it is good. And we're tied to 39 with just about 18 minutes to go. Wilson still with a second one on the way. As he will try to put the Saints back in front. Would be the fourth lead change so far in the second half, and we haven't even played 2 minutes. It is good. Will Wilson connects from both. And now here comes Umpqua down 1 once again. It's 40-39. Kind of a low-scoring game so far with what you'd expect from the guys here. It was a 107-103 victory for Mount Hood on Wednesday. They're not really on pace to get 100 this game. Here's Valdez. He puts it up, no good. Harrop there for the rebound. Harrop underneath, puts it up, and he puts it in. Here come the Saints. 5 lead changes so far here in the second half. Hampton gets it across to Vaughn. Vaughn inside, tipped away. Here's Peachy. Wilson picks it off. Wilson long pass Fowler. Who's gonna finish? The flush from Fowler, and Mount Hood once again in front. 6 lead changes so far. 2:45 into the second half. Here is the Riverhawks. Valdez got it over to Harrop. Harrop inside, now back out. Gets it to Valdez. Valdez floats it to the left side to Peachy. Peachy underneath puts it up. No good. Rebound is Fowler. Robinson and Fowler were fighting for the rebound, but Fowler ends up with it. Here's Hampton. Hampton a three. It's good! Wayne Hampton and the Saints lead by 4. Here come the Riverhawks. Valdez got it. He crosses the timeline. Guarded by Hampton. Now crosses, gets it over. Here's Sampson. Sampson moves inside the key, gets it back out. Valdez. Across now Peachy. Peachy back out. Sampson faked the defender. Now floats it up, and he floated it in. 2-point game, 45-43. Wilson gets the pass from Vaughn. Here's Wilson on the left side. Now moves inside, gets it back out. Here's Vaughn, puts it up and in. Cam Vaughn puts the Saints back up by 4 with 16 minutes to go. Valdez gets it in, and he gets it back now from Sampson. Valdez over to the right side, gets it at Sampson. Sampson going to take a contested 3, no good. And Vaughn is the rebound, and the foul is called. So the foul there is going to go against Valdez. Saints ball, Wilson to inbound. Substitution time, Valdez checks out. Donnelly checks back in. We have almost played about 5 minutes here in the second half as Wilson inbounds it to Hampton. Hampton to the inside now. Wilson gets it back out. Robinson going to take a 3, and he hits it! Kyle Robinson for 3.
The energy at the start of this half is near identical to the start of the first half.
They got a little wetness on that end of the court as they will try to dry that.
Must have been my cup of water that I walked over the court with.
You're fired. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're replacing you permanently with Jake Rowe, though. I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't even know. Here's Sampson. I needed an analyst today, so I appreciate you. Here is the Riverhawks once again. Here's Moyer. Gets it back out. Now to Peachy. Peachy moves to the inside, floats it 2, and he floats it off no good. Fowler the rebound, and he gets it over to Wilson. Saints by 7, 50-43. Wilson backs up. Looked like Wilson might have thought about a 3-pointer there, but he didn't take it. So he gets it over to Fowler. Back over now is Hampton. Hampton inside. Tipped out of play. Possession is still going to be Mount Hood. They will inbound it from underneath. They reset the shot clock to 16 seconds. Long inbound pass now to Wilson. Gets it back over to Vaughn. Over to Robinson. Back over now is Hampton. Hampton moves to the inside. Hampton up. No good. Rebound by Sampson. Gets it over to Harrop. Harrop, long pass to Moyer. Picked off, but he gets it back. Here's Harrop with a nice finish. So now here's Vaughn. 5-point game, 50-45, 14 3/4 minutes to go here. Vaughn's got it. He gets it over to Fowler. Fowler looks for somebody. Now hands it back off. Vaughn. Vaughn loses it. Able to get it back. Out Fowler. Back. Vaughn. Vaughn for 3. Got it! Cam Vaughn, another 3.
That's 3 straight threes for Mount Hood, correct?
That is.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
8-point lead now for the Saints. Rebuttal 3 was not taken by Sampson. He's going to move it back across. Back now, Peachy. He's going to take the rebuttal, and he's going to miss. Hampton the rebound. And here come the Saints. Gets it across now. Here's Vaughn. Vaughn! Oh, my goodness. He floats it in and one. I was so excited for that shot. I could not see. I didn't hear the official. I don't know who the foul was called on. But it is a foul against Umpqua. And it will send Cam Vaughn to the line. And we have reached a media timeout with just about 14 minutes to go here in this one, with the Saints leading by 10, 55-45.
Who made the shot?
Vaughn. That was Cam Vaughn.
Cam Vaughn. The only thing that's important is that Cam Vaughn made a beautiful floater, and he got that foul. So, potential 3-point play.
Look at Cam Vaughn's free throw percentage on the season.
Yeah.
He is 63%. I believe he did make a couple of free throws earlier in the first half. So we'll have to go back and check on that. He's got a couple of points in this game. As we take a look back at the first meeting between these two teams, it was an Umpqua victory, 76-67. Let's see, Cam Vaughn for Mount Hood only had 8 points in that game. Will Wilson led the way for Mount Hood with 24. Other notables, Gabe Sorensen with 11, Wayne Hampton with 10. As a team, they shot only 15% from 3, 57% from the free throw line.
How much? 57?
57% from the free throw line, and only 15% from 3.
But they still won.
They lost. Umpqua won the game.
Oh.
So for Umpqua.
Oh, it was their previous game.
Yep, previous game. Valdez led the way for Umpqua with 19 points. Then Harrop with 17. As a team, they shot 38%.
How do you win with those numbers?
38% from 3 and 41% from the free throw line.
Well, we're doing a lot better from 3 and a lot better from the free throw.
Vaughn converts on the 3-point play. It's an 11-point lead. Under 14 to go. Here is Donnelly. Donnelly inside, loses the ball, and possession goes back to the Saints. So now Sorensen will inbound it as he gets it into Hampton. And now Hampton crosses the timeline. Now gets it back across, moves over to that left side. Hampton looks for a lane, now gets it, floats up a 2. Can't put it in, but Robinson is there for the rebound.
Beautiful rebound, and what I like here is that Wilson reset the ball beautifully, and that leads to 2 points.
How about that one from Gabe Sorensen? So now here come the Riverhawks. Assistant Coach Dowd is yelling on the sideline. Aggressive defense they need. That one picked off, and that one is going to be a foul. So the foul there is going to go against Sorensen. And Umpqua is going to retain possession. With 13-14 to go. 58-45 lead for the Saints.
Hey, no more though. No more. Hey, no more.
So now inbounding for the Riverhawks will be Sampson. Now we have a little bit of a delay before the inbounding play. And Cam Vaughn over on the other end wiping the court, making sure it's dry. So now here's Sampson, guarded by Robinson. He gets it into Harrop. Harrop gets it back over now to Valdez. Valdez hands it off. No, he does not. Gets it back now to Moyer. Moyer to the inside. And he is called for the travel, and Mount Hood will get possession back. So now here's Robinson. He gets it in now to Hampton. Hampton, long pass across Barber. Barber to Wilson. Wilson back out now to Hampton. Wilson now pivots and moves. Hampton moves as well, gets it to Wilson. Wilson on the right wing. Now looks. He's going to take it himself. Now look. He spins, puts up the jumper, and he put it in!
Amazing.
Will Wilson, a nice 2-point play there, and Mount Hood leads by 15. So here's Valdez. Valdez fakes it, now takes it. Can't put it in, but a foul.
Great call.
Or the jump ball.
Well, I can tell why Will Wilson
leads the league in scoring.
Leads the league. I can tell why. That previous shot, I mean, the amount of focus and concentration to make that kind of shot is hard to none. I mean, you have to have some amazing talent to do that. So, great shot by him.
Will Wilson checks out of the game, and he gets some much-needed, deserved rest.
Yeah.
As now Umpqua trying to convert offensively, and that one is going to go for a foul. And now the foul there is going to be called against Robinson, and it will send Harrop to the line.
Next time, just toss it or just go out.
And now when you take a look at Harrop's free throw percentage on the season, he is a 86% free throw shooter. And he will miss the first, so it remains a 15-point lead for the Saints with 12:16 to go. And that is Leo Sewell, and that he has taken the place of Sampson. And now the second free throw on the way for Harrop is going to be good. So 60 now for the Saints, 46. Here's Fowler, gets it back to Hampton. Hampton crosses the timeline. Guarded now by Sewell. Gets it across. Here's Fowler inside. Fowler looking, hands it off. Hampton now moves inside. Hampton up, no good. Rebound is Harrop, and here come the Riverhawks. Umpqua brings it the other way as Harrop gets it back out now to Valdez. Valdez backs up again, gets it inside to Moyer. Moyer to the inside, puts it in, banks it off the glass. 12-point game, Mount Hood basketball, 11 and a half minutes to go.
That was an unfortunate bucket for Mount Hood, but their defense was, I would say, very well set up for that fast break.
So timeout on the floor, 11:37 to go. Mount Hood still leads by 12, 60-48. As they try to kind of maintain this cushion. They've been aggressive so far in the second half, Cody, making big shots. As we saw earlier, they had 3 straight threes. Those are big
Take threes.
to add up to this lead that they have now of a dozen, 60-48,
Yeah.
just almost halfway through the second half. So Umpqua giving time now to regroup, as do the Saints. Both Coach Lewell and Assistant Coach Dowd kind of yelling at them a little bit to not be so aggressive on defense because they're drawing too many fouls that kind of are not making the coaches happy. But when you're inside the paint like that, it's just hard to play defense without, drawing the whistle of a foul. So being able to play aggressive defense and kind of push them towards the outside, which is what Mount Hood has kind of been doing in the second half, kind of pushing them towards the three-point line and making them reset a little bit before going back inside. So now out of the timeout, it will be Mount Hood basketball. As we have now, I believe it is Trey Barber who will inbound it for the Saints. And he will inbound it to Cam Vaughn, who makes a contested catch. Now we got a whistle, and we have a foul against Valdez. And that is going to give Mount Hood possession once again.
Hopefully Mount Hood reads that double team. Potentially a triple team. Can find the open man. There we go.
I would like to give an update on the women's team in just a moment, but we'll wait to get through this possession as Hampton now has it on the left, now moves back over into the corner. Hampton now being guarded, gets it back over to Fowler, gets it to Sorensen. Sorensen a three, it's off the iron, no good, rebounded by Harrop. So Harrop brings it up for the Riverhawks, and now he spins, floats it up, can't put it in, and now we got a whistle on a foul. And the foul there is going to go against Fowler. It's a Fowler foul, as Jake Rowe would like to mention that. So, little update
That's
on.
what Jake Rowe would say?
No, that's what I would say, and it makes
Oh.
him laugh.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
So, a little update on the women's team. I believe Hoyleman has now come back into the gym with Jack in the Box. Kind of rude that the women did not offer us anything or ask if we wanted anything from Jack in the Box. Could be starving over here.
I would agree with you, but I had Carlos Jr. for lunch today. Kind of a treat. So
Barber for three, no good. Tips it back out.
Beautiful
Barber's
tip.
got it. Gets it back over to Sorensen. Sorensen on that right. Gets it over to Hampton. Hampton back. And now we're going to whistle on a timeout. So now they have to reset the shot clock. As now Will Wilson checks back into the game for Mount Hood, taking the place of Wayne Hampton. As now Cam Vaughn goes over to that far side to inbound it. And he will inbound it to Barber. Hands it off to Wilson. Wilson at the top of the key. Now backs up, waits. Now moves over to that right side. Wilson contested two. Off the iron, no. Barber tried to reach in, and now he's going to be called for the foul. So Barber there is called for the foul. It is the fourth foul against Mount Hood in the second half, each team with 4. As we just approach the halfway point of the second half, as now it is Valdez to bring it back up for the Riverhawks. Gets it back across now to Harrop. Harrop moves back to the top of the circle, now moves to the inside, puts up the 2, no good, but he is fouled, and he will be going back to the line. So Barber once again called for the foul. Pat Robinson checking back into the game. We'll see who he takes the place of. 10:23 to go. Free throw from Harrop is up and good. 9-point game, 60-51. Barber checks out. Robinson takes his place. Second free throw on the way for Harrop is good. It's an 8-point game with 10:23 to go. 60-52 now as Vaughn gets the inbound pass, gets it over to Wilson. Wilson with a long pass to Fowler. Fowler back. Here's Vaughn inside the lane. Contested 2. Can't put it in. Tip. Fowler's got it. Fowler underneath. Puts it up. No good, but a foul. So that is Sewell, who is called for the foul, as now we have a group huddle between the Saints, as it is going to send Nick Fowler to the line. Nick Fowler, who is 50% from the line, puts in the first. So it's back to a 9-point lead for the Saints.
Another coin toss here. Will they make it?
So now we'll see.
Just like last game, even though the Saints are in the lead, these free throws are key to winning the game, to maintain that lead.
Adds on. That does add on to the cushion there, Cody. It's 62-52 as we approach the halfway point. 10:03 to go. Here's Valdez. Gets it back across now to Sewell. Gets it back to Harrop. Harrop moves to the inside, puts up the 2, and he puts it in. Now it's back to an 8-point game. 62-54, crossing the halfway point. Now crossing the timeline is that is Vaughn. Gets it over to Wilson. Wilson on that left wing. Looking. Floats it inside to Fowler. Fowler contested. Gets it across. Sorensen for 3. It's off the iron, no good. Tipped. And now we got a whistle and another foul. And the foul there is going to go against Robinson. As now we have reached another media timeout with 9.5 minutes to go, with the Saints leading 62-54.
Or will there be 1-1 next foul? This next foul.
I am not quite sure. I think it is. It would be a 1-1. Speaking of 1-1, the Saints looking to win this game, splitting the season series against Umpqua after dropping the first one back on January 28th. Once again, that was a 76-67 final. As now we get a good look there at the men's team with Coach Alex Lewison. Getting some coaching advice as you see a assistant coach handing down, kind of off on the side there. He's been kind of chirping at the officials a little bit. Actually, both coaches have, but that's what to expect in a basketball game. You know, you get into it with the officials because they make calls that either go your way or they don't go your way. So now we'll see. Now we get a quick update there as we see. I mean, look over there. They're eating Jack in the Box, I believe, and they didn't even offer us anything. So thanks a lot, ladies. I mean, it's kind of rude. But you know what? No judgment here. So at least I believe. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not Jack in the Box. It's Burger King. Breaking news: it is actually Burger King that they are eating over there. So still was not very nice that they didn't offer us anything.
Controversial opinion, but Burger King fries over McDonald's fries.
I would have taken some Burger King. That would have been good. So now here is Valdez. Valdez crosses the timeline. Now moves over to the left side. Looking for a passing lane, gets it to Donnelly. Back over now with Valdez, gets it across now to Peachy. Hands it off Sewell. Sewell got a block. Now gets it back. Here's Peachy, guarded by Wilson. Peachy moves to the inside. Now contested, gets it across Donnelly. Backs up. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Donnelly's going to take a 3, and he missed it. And that is going to do it for the shot clock. Approaching 9 minutes to go. Wilson has it. Wilson holds. And now moves to the right side, gets it back across now to Vaughn. Vaughn, top of the key, now gets it back out Wilson. Wilson moves to the inside, gets it back to Hampton. Hampton's going to take a 3, no good, into the hands of Robinson. He's got it. Robinson for 2, no good. Robinson's got it again, but we got a whistle and a foul.
Umpqua must be head coach and assistant coach must be a little upset after that session of just consistent rebounds by Mount Hood, but Mount Hood not finding the basket.
So Sewell is called for the foul. He checks out. Simpson checks back in. Underneath the basket. Foul puts it in.
And they find it.
So Mount Hood back up 10 with 8.5 to go. Now back. Here's Harrop. Harrop at the top of the circle. Now gets it back over to the left side. Looking, gets it over to Sampson. Sampson inside now. There's Moyer. Moyer a 2. It is up. No good. Rebound to Hampton. Hampton gets it in. He's going to put it up. No good. But a foul is going to go against Umpqua, and that's going to send him to the line. So the foul there is going to go against Peachy, and it's going to send Wilson to the line. I'm sorry, that is going to send Hampton to the line. Saw Wilson standing on the free throw line. I thought maybe he was the one that got fouled, but I do believe it was Hampton. So Hampton is going to shoot the free throws. try to extend the lead, and he does to 11. Substitution time as now Estep comes in for Moyer. And we check on Wayne Hampton. Again, he is a 70% free throw shooter as he made the first. Now a little bit of a delay before we get the second one. Court's still a little bit damp over there from these sweaty men.
Man, I must have spilled more water than I thought over on that court.
Are you sure it was water?
Geez. It tasted like water.
Well, he makes both. So now it's a 12-point lead for the Saints. As Chuck Chambers once said on iCarly, you wish it was water. I had to plug that in there. I had to plug that in there. I'm sorry. So here's Harrop. Harrop gets it back out. Here's a three. Donley, it's good. You know, he said that in both the original iCarly and the reboot. So it's just kind of funny. You know, he tricked Spencer into thinking he's drinking water. So we'll see. Here's Wilson, gets it back out Hampton, and now we got a whistle and a foul. So the foul there is going to go against Umpqua.
And now we're in 1-1.
And that one is going to go against Sampson. And now Will Wilson at the line to shoot some free throws. Substitution time, William Chen checks in for Cam Vaughn. And now Wilson to shoot his first free throw. He is 3 for 4, and he makes the first. So it was a 1-1, so he does get one more. 7.5 minutes remaining here in regulation. 67-57 is the Saints lead. Wilson to try to put the Saints back up by 11. And the free throw is up, and it is good. So Wilson is 5 for 6 at the line tonight. Here come the Riverhawks as Harrop brings it up on the left side. Now crosses to the right, gets a block, gets it back out now Peachy. Here's a three on its way. It's short. Estep could not put it in. Robinson, the rebound, gets it over to Wilson. Wilson now brings it up for the Saints. Hands it off now to Hampton. Hampton backs up, now on the logo. Gives it to Robinson. Robinson over to Wilson. Wilson fakes, gets it inside to Fowler. Back over Wilson. Wilson to the inside. Wilson spins. Two-pointer up is good.
Beautiful
Wilson,
shot.
another contested jumper he puts in with under 7 to go. Harrop to the lane, intercepted. Here's Wilson.
Wilson with a steal.
It's a 3-on-2. Wilson up, in, no good, but a foul against him as he is called for the charge, and Umpqua will get the ball back. So now Umpqua will inbound it once again. It'll be Harrop to get it into Valdez. Assistant Coach Dowd has some words for his team. They still lead by 13 with 6:50 to go. Here's Valdez. Valdez inside the lane. Floater, free throw line. Off, no good. Wilson the rebound. Gets it across now. Here is Hampton. He crosses the timeline. Now on the right side. Hampton moves to the inside. Now looks. Gets it back out to Fowler. Fowler spinning. Fowler floats it up. And in! Nick Fowler with a two-handed layup there as Mount Hood goes back in front by 15. Valdez inside, gets it to Harrop. Harrop underneath, puts it up and in. Timeout taken by Umpqua with 6:16 to go. 13-point lead at 72-59. And the Saints fans and players can feel it here on sophomore night. They've been very aggressive so far, and it's contributed to this double-digit lead, Cody. And they just need to hang on for the final 6:16.
6:16 on the clock. This is more like we could be looking at the next 20 minutes of real-life time put into that 6:16. We got plenty of timeouts. We got 1-and-1s. But Umpqua has to certainly close in that deficit for that kind of time to be used up.
So they have finished the Burger King over there on the ladies' bench, and they did not offer us anything. I would just like to remind everyone again.
Maybe you should go up to him and ask.
Let's say, Why didn't I get any Burger King? I would have taken some Burger
That's a
King.
good start.
We should go out and get Burger King after this. Here's Hampton. Gets it back, puts it up, no good. And the rebound there is Sampson. Sampson gets it to Valdez. Valdez across, over to Harrop. Harrop inside, now can't put it in, and that one is going to go for a possession to Umpqua, as that one was lost out of bounds with 6:02 to go. As Harrop will once again inbound it from underneath the basket. Gets it in now to Sampson. Sampson contested two, no good, or he does make it. Wow, that one bounces in. Sorensen and Vaughn now walk in front of us. They are going to be checking back into the game as Wilson gets it over to Chen, gets it over to Robinson, hands it off to Wilson. Wilson to the inside, loses the ball, gets it back out now to Hampton. Hampton back out Wilson. Backs up now towards center court. Now moves back inside Wilson. Up, no good, but he is fouled. And he will go to the line for some free throws once again. So the foul there is going to go against Harrop. Wilson, who is 5 for 6 at the line tonight. 2 more to try to put the Saints back in front by double digits as they lead by 11 as he makes the first. And that makes it 73-61 with 5.5 to go. Fowler and Chen check out of the game. Vaughn and Robinson, I believe, are the ones that checked in. Here's Wilson's second is good. And I believe those 2 free throws were exactly the same. Both nothing but net. 2 more for Wilson. 74-61, 5.5 to go. Back out now. Here's Harrop. Gets it across Sampson. Sampson now moves to the inside. Loses the ball, but gets it back. Out now to Harrop. Harrop spins, puts up the contested 2, no good. Rebounded by Robinson, but into the hands of Sampson as now he is fouled against Robinson. And Wilson there is going to be called for the foul. And now it will be free throws for Sampson as we check in on his free throw percentage this season. Sampson, he is a 80%, 81% from the line, and he misses the first.
Can certainly see Umpqua's change of pace as we enter the 5 minutes on the clock as a result of that last play.
Second free throw is good. So it's a 12-point game, 72-64 or 74-62 with 5:15 to go. Substitutions for the Riverhawks as they bring in new players. Robinson gets it in now. Here's Vaughn. Gets it back over to Robinson. Robinson to Sorensen. Sorensen holds. Now gets it back to Vaughn. Gets it over to Hampton. Hampton on the hash. Now moves to that left wing. Gets it to Wilson. Wilson waiting. Now looking, trying to get it to somebody, gets it over to Hampton, and now he's going to be stepped out of bounds, and possession goes back to Umpqua as the slam of the clipboard from assistant coach Dowd as we have reached our final media timeout of the night with just under 5 minutes to go. 4:54 remaining here in half number 2. Mount Hood 74, Umpqua 62.
So who's the media calling these timeouts?
I believe it's just the NWAC conference that enforces these timeouts because
I see.
they do have a sports network. I don't know. I mean, we have our own huddle stream that we have set up on the MHCC Athletics
You
YouTube
could just
page.
take credit for the timeouts.
Yeah, I don't
For
know.
media.
I don't
just say-
exactly know where the timeouts
You can
come
just say
from.
media timeout brought to you by Jackson Hamelund.
Because even with the network, they don't go to commercials. So, I mean, there really isn't no use for a timeout. But we'll,
Right? But that's what I'm saying.
We'll take a break
That's
from
why you
action.
take credit for it. And then you could use that time to promote Jake Rowe's business.
I would just like to take this moment to apologize. I don't know how many more moments I'll have during this game. I am indeed throwing no shade at the women's team at all. It's just, I'm just trying to be funny. So just making fun of the women's team tonight, since they're sitting right across from us. So we're getting a good look at the ladies. And apologies if I offended anyone. Just trying to be comedic.
You offended me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you.
I'll buy you a beer. Since we're both now of age. So now here come the Riverhawks. As here is Harrop. Harrop gets it across over to Sampson. Sampson gets it back out. Harrop. They're up on the right side. Now moves inside the lane. Guarded by Robinson. 13 on the shot clock. Puts up the 2, and he puts it in. Sorensen out of inbound. He gets it into Vaughn. Vaughn holds. Now looking. He's got Sorensen. Hands it off back to Hampton. Hampton now on the right. Now looks, moves to the inside, gets it back out now to Vaughn. Vaughn inside, puts it up, no good, but a charging foul is called against him. And that will give possession back to the Riverhawks with 4:16 remaining in half number 2.
You know, I like the way number 3 has taken those 2 charges. I think that's a underused technique on the defensive end. Number 3 for Umpqua, of course. He's taken 2 charges.
So now here's Valdez. Valdez gets it over now to Sampson. Sampson's going to take a 3, and he missed it. Rebound to Robinson, and Robinson gets it to Wilson. 4 minutes remaining. Wilson dribbles it to the inside. Wilson takes it up, and he put it in. Nice finish from Wilson there. Mount Hood up by dozen. Here is Valdez. Valdez underneath, puts up no good, but he's fouled. And they call the travel. So it's Mount Hood basketball. 3 3/4 minutes to go. Sorensen checks out. As now I believe Nick Fowler had checked back into the game. As now coach yelling at Wilson, who gets the inbound pass. Now gets it across, tipped, and that one goes out of bounds, but I believe it was last touched by Umpqua, so it's Mount Hood basketball. No, it's not. It's Umpqua basketball.
We wish it was the other way around.
So Sewell brings it up. Guarded by Hampton. Sewell looking, gets it back across Sampson. Sampson on the left side. Now flip the pass back to Peachy. Inside now, Harrop. He is going to be whistled, and now it's a foul.
And they're calling 2 shots. Interesting.
And if Jake Rowe was here, he would know what I'm about to say. It's a Fowler foul. So Fowler gets called for the foul. And now it is Harrop to shoot free throws down by a dozen with 3.5 minutes to go. And that one is good. So it's an 11-point game, 76-65 in favor of Mount Hood. Down to 10 now. Here's Wilson. Crosses. Now gets it to Hampton. Back over to Wilson as he crosses the midcourt line. Wilson moves inside. Gets it to Fowler, who puts it up and in, but a charge is called against him. So Wilson is called for the charge, and Umpqua gets the ball back with 3:13 to go. And now we have a whistle and a timeout taken by Umpqua with just over 3 minutes remaining. So if Mount Hood can hold on to this lead, they will improve to 10-15 on the season. 9-6 in conference play with a pivotal matchup against Lane to finish the season tomorrow down in Eugene. Lane has a record of 9-18. They lost their last game on Wednesday to this Umpqua team.
I'm kind of surprised Lane has such a losing record, such a under 500 record.
Well, the women are 24-1. Their only loss of the season was at Clackamas just a few weeks ago.
But the men's is.
But the Lane men are not very good. They were defeated by Mount Hood in this building on January 21st. It was just a 3-point game though. 93-90 was the final score of that one. So It'll be interesting to see tomorrow.
The only reason I say that is because it's right next to Eugene. You have a ton of people going to college in Eugene. Maybe they take a class, like they start class at U of O. That's too much to handle. So then they drop down to Lane, or maybe they go to Lane, and then will transfer into U of O. Either way, I feel like there's a lot of student athletes in that part of Oregon. So I'm kind of surprised that they have such a low record for the men's.
So we're going to try to do another virtual cast as we did on Wednesday for the Clackamas game for the Lane game tomorrow, which starts at 2 o'clock for the women, 4 o'clock for the men. maybe Cody Rounseville will join us, but I'm at least going to try to get Jake Rowe on the call with me. So stay tuned for that on my Instagram page at AmpDX, and it'll be on the same YouTube page as well, MHCC Advocast. So here is Hampton. Gets it now to Fowler. Fowler waiting. Now pivots, hands it off to Hampton. Hampton now floats it from the free throw line. Off, no good, and it's to Wilson, who gets the offensive rebound. Fresh 20 on the shot clock. Wilson now dribbles it across. Now waiting, gets it back now, Vaughn. Vaughn to Fowler. Fowler to Vaughn. Vaughn now tries, gets it to Fowler, over to Wilson. Wilson, fake to three. Now he's going to take it, and he missed it, but he's fouled. And there's 3 free throws coming for Will Wilson. The foul there is going to go against Harrop with 2:22 to go. And Will Wilson back to the line. He's 7 of 8. And Wilson's
Way to draw the foul by Wilson there. You could see number 10 on Umpqua was definitely a little upset by that call, sending him to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
Wilson hits the first 2. And now he hits all 3.
Beautiful.
And now it is a 13-point lead for the Saints. Here is Valdez, and he puts in a contested shot and one, I believe. Or I believe, no, it was just a timeout. So it's an 11-point game, 2:14 to go. So it is a timeout indeed by Umpqua. And according to the official there, I believe it is their final timeout. So we shouldn't have any more stoppages in the final 2.25 minutes. As we take a look at Janice there panning across the court. Once again, you see the women's team across the way there from where we are sitting over on the bench. Just a beautiful court that they had to redo after a big storm a few years ago, wrecked and warped the floor.
Here?
So they had to rebuild this court, and just as beautiful. So here is Hampton, gets it back to Wilson. Wilson gets it back over to Vaughn. Vaughn crosses, gets it to Hampton. Hampton holds, now hands it back to Vaughn. Vaughn got it by Valdez. And now Vaughn crossing, gets it back. Here's Hampton inside, gets it back out. Wilson who makes the catch. Wilson looking again, back out left wing. Wilson, he's going to take the 3. Missed it off the iron, tipped and into the hands of Fowler. Fowler's got it back out Hampton. 100 seconds to go. Hampton gets it to Robinson. Robinson looking, top of the key. Now moving, he's going to take it to the inside. Floated up, no good, and into the hands of Valdez. No foul there, and now we got a foul. So Vaughn there is going to be called
Into
for the
1-1.
foul
We were already at 1-1, but brings him to the line.
with 87 seconds remaining. Mount Hood leading by 11, 79-68. Valdez now at the line to shoot. We look at his free throw percentage on the year as he is a 65%.
Dude, I was going to get 74.
And he misses the first. So Mount Hood still maintains that 11-point lead. So now Coach Lewell telling Will to get the rebound, and that one is good. So Wilson now inbounds, gets it in now to Hampton, and Hampton is fouled. So the foul there is going to go against Donley with a 1:25 to go.
So I believe Umpqua's strategy is to foul as much as they can, send them to the free throw line, hope they miss, get the rebound, take it down the court as fast as they can, and get a couple easy buckets to bring this game to a
Hampton,
closer score.
Hampton will make the first. So still a second one. As Hampton will shoot once again. Try to put Mount Hood up by a dozen, and he does not. So the rebound there is for Umpqua. Here's Harrop as he brings it up the floor. Harrop going to take it himself. He's going to put it up and in. So Hare up there with a nice finish, and a foul there is going to go, I believe, against the Saints. And the foul there actually is going to go against Umpqua. It's going to go against Valdez. And I think Valdez is close to fouling out, as Hampton will now shoot again. Made one of two last time he was up. And he makes the first there.
Brings it to a double-digit lead, but still a lot of time on that clock. And enough time to perfect a strategy to win the game from Umpqua. So let's hope Mount Hood maintains. Oh, great steal.
Picked off by Sorens, and here's Hampton. Over to Wilson. Wilson to Vaughn. Vaughn will just hold as we approach 1 minute remaining here in the game. Vaughn now moves inside, gets it back out to Wilson. Wilson spins, gets it, and that one's tipped out of play. Possession to Umpqua. So Mount Hood still is up by 11, 52.5 seconds to go. And Mount Hood looks to be cruising their way to their 4th consecutive win as Valdez gets the inbound pass and now hands it off to Sampson. Sampson takes a 3. It is off the iron, and Hampton gets the rebound. And now with 40 seconds to go, I think Mount Hood is just going to melt the clock. Hampton over to the right side, gets it to Carson. Carson, no good, as he tries to finish his final game with a 3. No good, but a foul.
Fouling with 30 seconds left.
And the foul there is going to go against Carson with exactly 30 seconds remaining.
Or up by 8.
So they will cut the shot clock. So Valdez at the line to shoot 2. First one on the way is good.
Pardon me. They were up by 11. I'm good at math, dude.
Well, it's Friday night. You just shouldn't have to do math. He makes both. And now we have
Bringing
a whistle.
it to a 9-point lead.
And now here is Hampton, gets the inbound pass from Wilson as the clock winds down. Sorensen has it, gets it to Hampton, and they might just dribble this one out. So the clock is at 20. Hampton moves over to the left. Now guarded by Sampson. Gets it to Vaughn, and with 10 seconds to go, they are just going to melt it.
And that is
And
game.
the Mount Hood Saints have won their 3rd consecutive game with an 82-73 victory here on sophomore night against Umpqua. And they win their final home game as they did the first. They start the home streak with the win against Lane, and they end it with the win against Umpqua, and they will go to Lane tomorrow with a chance at a postseason berth on the line. Mr. Rounseville, any final thoughts?
I'd say that was a very outstanding game. I'd say part of what kept their lead in such good shape was the fact that they made a lot of free throws. They stayed consistent the entire game. There wasn't any plateaus really throughout the entire game by Mount Hood. So yeah, overall just outperformed Umpqua, which is a great game.
Even though the women fell earlier tonight, you got to believe, I mean, they're going to go to Lane tomorrow with a bit of a grudge after losing to them here on the 21st. So that should be an interesting game to watch as well. That will start tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Fun night, Cody.
Thank you, Jackson, for having me here.
Yeah, thank you for taking the place of the out of town Mr. Jake Rowan. Maybe
that guy Jake.
Maybe we'll have to have you on again sometime.
Yeah.
So thank you once again for joining me for our amazing cameraman Janice Wilson and my analyst Cody Rounseville. I'm Jackson Hamelund. Good night from Gresham.